Hey YouTubers, thanks for checking into the video today. Today's lure review is going to be on the Spro Little John DD. The DD stands for deep dive. This lure will dive to about anything from about 16 to 20 feet. So Spro claims. Spro themselves stands for Sports Professionals. It's a really cool company. It's pretty good value for what you pay, and they make some really awesome lures. So you know, Spro, the brand Spro itself is a little bit harder to get here in Australia, and yeah, I did an order on Tackle Warehouse and I got a whole heap of Spro products, and yeah, I'm not disappointed whatsoever. They're really well made, and one thing with the Spro products is that they're really tough baits. So tough as in like they got tough terminal tackle and tough paint jobs as well, so they seem like they'll last you for a fair long time. Alright, anyways, this particular one here, yeah, I'll show you the box. This is it here. John Cruz signature and Little John DD on this side here. The color itself is called the Chartreuse Nasty. It is, if you can read it about there. Alright, so it's 70 millimeters long. It claims here on the box like 3/4 ounce, but on Tackle Warehouse they claim like 1 ounce. But yeah, anyways, it's a pretty heavy bait and you can cast it pretty far. It's got number 2 size Gamakatsu hooks. Spro exclusively pretty much use Gamakatsu hooks, and like I said, 16 to about 20 feet. So that's what the packaging looks like if you need to find that in a store. Alright, so physically, deep diving bill, massive elongated bill, cuts through the water pretty well. It's going to pretty much do that and dive to a real deep depth. It does have an oval split ring there at the front for you there, and it's quite a nice decent size, so you can really it's a little bit easier to tie your line to. I find with anything with like a really long bib, you're gonna have to sort of like get your fingers around there, because like that bib's so long. Anytime you got like a really big bib, it's always handy to have a nice like oval split ring there. The color itself is Chartreuse Nasty, and it really is, guys. It looks sick. It's a really nice chartreuse color through here. You got this white sort of lateral line. It's got a shad dot right there, bleeding gills, and bleeding gills out the front there. A little bit of an orange throat, and some information for you there. Spro Little John DD. Alright, really appreciate it when manufacturers actually write something on the bait. Yeah, you can easily identify what sort of bait that you have there. Spro's actually got like, they're not like these, there's somewhat raised gill plates, a little bit in this section here I suppose, but they're not really raised. They're more, they are 3D, so they've been actually cut into this section here and here, giving you a 3D design, but they're not like heaps raised. And it's a really flat-sided bait, so if I show you there, it's quite flat, and then moving on to that there, you can see it's an incredibly flat design. A lot of your Spro crankbaits, they do that. It alleviates rolling, so if I just zoom out there, flat-sided crankbaits are not going to want to do this so much. So this sort of stuff there while you're retrieving it. It's going to want to wobble really well, so tight wobble like this, but it's not going to want to do this so much, like rolling like that. Okay? So that's the whole point of like flat-sided baits. Yeah, they swim really well, guys. It does have like, it's actually, look, I was going to say is it silent or does it have a rattle, but let's have a listen to it. If you can just hear that, what that is that it only has one massive ball bearing inside there. Okay, it is a tungsten ball. It's actually got nothing to do with rattling at all. They didn't put this in here for a rattle. What they've put it in there for is because ultimately it's a weight transfer system. So as you move it there, that tungsten ball bearing is going to move down here, giving you more ability to sort of cast out that way there, being tail heavy this time. Now, the reason why you can't really hear it like some other tungsten ball bearings is that it's actually rubber coated. Now, the reason why they rubber coated it is to simply try to make it as silent as possible, because that's what they wanted to do with this particular bait, have a more silent sort of I suppose, yeah, action as you're retrieving it. Alright, like I've said in my previous videos, guys, nothing's truly silent. Like these split rings and trebles, as they even move through the water like that, shaking like that, it's going to create a little bit of noise. And same with that ball, because it is free to move up and down for that weight transfer system. As it knocks side to side, you will get a sound ever so slightly. You know, even if it's not much, there is a sound there. Okay. Yeah, Spro's angry eyes that you get there, that's one of their signature things that they have for their crankbait series. It's all 3D there. It's got black on top with a little bit of red there, and then like this nice foil silver design at the bottom there as well. One thing I will let you know, guys, is with this bait that it is a deep diving bait. It gets to really like lower water columns, like heaps deep, but it does have a tendency, and I'm just being really honest, to want to you know, do that whole swinging a little bit left. Like as it's doing this, it's gonna like swing a little bit to this side or swing a little bit to this side like that as it's going like that. You know, it might be because of the fact that the line tie itself and that split ring holder is attached to the bill. Anytime you have it attached to the head, it's always a lot better. But obviously with all your like deep diving sort of lures, they tie them here, so it simply does get to a deeper depth. Look, you can tune that just by grabbing a set of pliers and then like bending that a little bit to one side, and it doesn't take much bend, but that should straighten it out if it's not running completely straight. But like I said, even if you do like straighten it out and get the perfect sort of like line towards you, it does still want to sort of like fold over and have a bit of a mind of its own. It's not bad at all, guys, with this bait. I do have to let you know, it's only very subtly there, and this is when you're full on like burning the bait back towards you. Okay, one thing that's very, very impressive with this bait, and it's not for everyone, but for my fishing conditions, it was really awesome, and I really appreciate this, is that I find with a certain like a lot of baits, like this is considered floating. I find with floating baits, they simply float way too much. And what I mean by float way too much is that, you know, obviously all floating baits float, that's cool, but once you start like cranking it and it gets deeper into the water column like that, how quick it floats up to the surface again is something that's very important for me. And this bait does it in a really gentle, slow float. You know, some guys are going to want to have it sort of like go deep as you're cranking it and float up real quickly. That's cool, I can understand, but this has got a really natural, very nice, subtle float up, and it's somewhat, I'd have to call it, well, a slow floating up. And it works really, really, really well, guys. So it's not like this sort of like there and then like that and then there and then like that. It's more like there and then like that and then there and then like real slow. And it gives this really nice appeal, and it's a very successful bait actually. If you need to get to deeper water columns, I went with this color, nice bright chartreuse. Yeah, it looks heaps sick, and yeah, hopefully like fish can see that under the water. Gamakatsu number 2 Gamakatsu hooks, they're real sharp, guys. One last thing that I do want to let you know is on the bottom it's all chartreuse. It's all chartreuse on the side, but on the back, like just a lot of your like baits, you're going to be getting a darker back. This one here isn't heaps dark. It's like this really nice sort of like blue color with this sort of stenciled gray that they've painted on it. Okay, now that moves along to that, about that section there. But what's really like catchy with this particular bait, and look, it's not really like a thing that the fish are going to see, but Spro have put on these like really nice, like it's like these little flake designs that you see it straight out of the package, like, and this is a fine example of a lure catching an angler as opposed to a fish. because like, yeah, these little flakes look awesome. The whole design of this bait, it just looks mean. This is your prototypical mean badass crankbait in a really badass chartreuse color. Alright guys, so I think I've got some underwater footage. If I do, stick around for it. If I don't, I'm sorry, like I'll have to check the computer after. But yeah, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos, and hit the like button if you appreciate the video, guys. If you have any comments or got any questions or need a hand with something, let us know. Or if there's any lures that you want me to review, let me know. But yeah, I'll catch you around next time, guys. Thank you very much for taking some time out for this video. See you later, bye.